Hi everybody, it's Lynn from LynzCraftzDesignz. This is just some Primo that I rolled out with the Naga hide texture tile from Cool Tools. It's actually just scrap, and pretty filthy scrap on top of that. But that doesn't matter. I am just going to be cutting out the big circle, and then this is the big oval. Okay. I'm gonna put, this is from the tiny, I don't know what it's called. It's the tiny little set of cutters. I believe they're Sculpey cutters. Then this is the smallest one out of the circle cutter set. I'm just gonna cut that out of the circle. Now, if I can find anything. Just gonna remove both of those and put them in the scrap pile. Okay, there we go, all done. Got some of the other texture tiles. None of these have names, and I'm not sure which ones I want to use. We'll think about that for a minute. But we're going to use today the gold leafing, metal leafing that I just got. Man. Alright, so let's look at the side here and see. I'm thinking one of these pretty little blues right here. Oh, I was gonna say on that oval piece, but not with the dog hair on. There we go. Now, if I can lift it back up. I realize we have way too much. Yeah, see, that's what I didn't want to do. put that back in there. Now on this one, let's try the green. Maybe that's on the other one. Yeah. Okay, now let's try to be a little bit more conservative, I was gonna say. Okay. Somehow we managed that and kept it in the packaging. Okay. Now, I just want to say this is something I'm sure lots of people have done, but I saw it on a YouTube video the other day. So on the green one, I'm going to use this leaf one. Now you can see how we distorted that circle quite a bit, but that is not the important part. Alright, this one I'm going to use this. Okay, I'm going to start with the white. Now the white is only going to stick to the places where the metal leafing isn't. Or the raised areas, however you want to see that. Now on this one, this is the turquoise. There you can see how nicely the pan pastels mix, really and truly. Okay. Now for this other one, nope. This is the, okay, now we've got the metallic wax in the peacock. Remember what I said, that is just the wax crystallizing, not mold. all that green off my finger. Just along this bottom edge. Oh yeah, I really like that. Alright, now let me look and see what I think. Yeah, I really like that. I'm still not sure about the shape of this oval one, but I'm thinking we're just going to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to bake these. Okay. Before we bake these. When a million things just jump into your mind all at one time. I don't know how to open these. Aha. Now, these sets of metal cutters came with a set of, you know, the card symbols: spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. And I've never known what to do with them. But this leaf pattern made me see this in a whole new light. It looks like a leaf if you look at it just right. But I don't know if it's gonna fit. You'll never know that way. Yeah, we can just make it fit. Now, admittedly, there's a lot of wastage there. But we can just roll that up and put it in our scrap, I guess. As you can see, this one rolled out way too thin up there at the top. Okay. There's something anyway. Something worth saving. Okay. Now, put on my scrap. Because I was cleaning my desk. No, you may not believe that, but I really was. said this in my Temu haul video. I was cleaning my desk because I was putting the new silicone mat down. Now, I know you can't see it because it's underneath the other silicone mat. But it covers my whole working area of my desk. My desk is actually a dinner table that I got years ago. And it actually came from, I used to have a friend that was a storage room. She would buy up storage rooms, you know, not the room itself, but all the stuff in it. And so we would go with her from time to time to empty out a storage room. So this particular night, I got a table, a vacuum cleaner, my polymer clay oven, and a few other things that aren't coming to my mind right now. But anyway, the table was one of those, I know you know what I'm talking about. It's a table that has a parquet insert. In other words, it's got a band around the edges about that wide, and then parquet filling up the rest of it. Well, for a polymer clay artist, that does not make a good surface to work on. So, back at her house, she had a giant barn warehouse. I would call it a warehouse because it was a metal building. It was like gigantic. I don't even know what size it was. It was so big. But it was full of stuff she'd gotten out of the storage rooms. So she had several dining tables that weren't part of a set, just individual dining tables. So I just traded her. I traded her the parquet one for the one I'm using now, which I don't know how old it is, but it is a blonde wood table, and it's a solid, I don't know if it's sheet pine or whatever it is, but it's very heavy duty. So yay for me is all I can say. I'm gonna bake these now that that story is done and complete. I'm gonna bake these 275, and I'm gonna do them for 30 minutes just to be sure. Okay, then we'll be back. Okay, so these came out of the oven looking pretty much just like they went in. I did add a little bit of copper to that green leaf, we're calling it. This is the Temu UV resin I'm going to use. So I'm just going to show you one of them. Now, since the surface of this piece is pretty textured, you will have to be a little more careful about whether your UV resin covers the whole surface or not. There it is. And goes to the edges or not. Now, like I said before, If you can't get this the first time, don't worry. It just takes practice. I have done literally hundreds of these top coatings. So it may actually look a little easier than it is. But there it is. We're going to put it under the lamp for 5 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, these little pinch bells, which also came from Temu. There's some really, really cute leaf-shaped ones. Let me see. Get the one I want. That one is perfect. Now for this one, there is one springs to my mind. That one's not it, but that one is really pretty. I think that one will do. There's like 10 to 12 to, there's a bunch of different styles. Now this is 2 packages put together. The way I go about opening these pinch bells, the first thing you have to do is there are both style pinch bells. Pinch bells that both pieces are parallel to each other, face the same direction, and there are other ones that I can hold on to it, face that way to the bail at the top. I don't know how to describe that, but that's what it does. Oh, this one's pinched a bunch. First thing I start to do is spread it apart with my pliers. This one looks like it might be malformed just a bit. Yeah. The little prong on the bottom edge there is missing, so we'll have to pick a different one. That's unfortunate. But it does happen. It happens whether they're from Temu or not. Trust me. I actually believe these are Panda Hall, although they came from Temu. I believe they have a Panda Hall ribbon around them. There we go. Don't think I'll throw that away. That'll still get used. I'll just probably glue on whichever side, the back side probably. Okay, now I just used my pliers and spread them apart to get those to spread apart. Okay, so holding it the way it's going to go for the front side. Pinch it together as much as I can with my fingers. And then I'll just use the edge of my desk. But sometimes these prongs line up too perfectly to let it squish together, so to speak. So again, I'll take my pliers, and on the back prong, just bend it in the tiniest little bit. And that will allow it to squeeze together. Okay, that's cute. Now, on this leaf bell, it's actually a little different. Same thing. We'll just use our pliers. Sometimes my pliers need more help than my fingers will give it. So again, I just use the edge of the desk. I've already drilled a hole, just using my Let's Resin drill. Okay. Do the same thing, front and back, in the hole. Pinch it together. Oh, that's cute. Okay, now I took both of the leather cords out of these pendants. I cut out 2 leaves and the starfish and this little shell out of the black Primo. This is just rolled out on a 3. Okay. This will go back in my black bag. My bag of black Primo. Now, let's do some little defining. These little leaf shapes I'm going to do that. Just a couple of these for the veins. Okay, now for the shell, first of all I need to move that starfish a little bit, or the shell. Let's go for the shell. Now that starfish got a little extra on his leg. Now, okay, once again, before we were so rudely interrupted, I did the starfish with the tiny end of the dotting tool, with the bigger one in the center. Okay. Now, the shell. Let's give it some texture. something like that. Not too much. We don't want to give it so much detail that we obliterate everything else. I've got the same waxes that we used on the piece itself. This is the peacock, and this one is the old silver. And for the leaves, this one is the firebird, and this one is the vintage gold. Now, I realize we did use the pan pastels for the silver and the gold, but this time we're going to use the metallic wax. So with the silver, if I can hold on to it. Okay, I'm just going to put a layer on the top, like that. Okay, same thing with the shell. Now with the shell, I can see we may need to go back just to reinforce some of that shape detail that we did. Okay. And on the leaf, start with the gold. Okay, now for the blue and the copper, Firebird. Once again, this is a kind of soft brush, but it's one that I've only used for the metallic waxes and the artisan powders. Just gonna get the tiniest bit and brush on the bottom edge. Okay, just like that. And same thing on the starfish, just on the tips of his legs. There we go, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to wipe my brush off on a towel. Then I've got this Firebird. Now, warning about this Firebird. It's softer than the rest. So it will really put some heavy color if we're not careful. Literally just like that. Okay, now, first thing I want to say, I have literally done this for years. Years. You hear people, well, you see people comment all the time about you can't put resin back in the oven, you can't, it puts off fumes. It doesn't put off any more fumes than the nail light does. The nail light gets hot. This is already cured. Okay, now we're just going to put some gloss sealer on the leaves and the shells. This is Rust-Oleum water-based gloss sealer. It's just in a different bottle. I pour from the can that it comes in, a little pint can, into the plastic bottle. That way I don't have to open the can over and over again. I'm just gonna put it on the leaves. Okay. And on the shell. If I can get the brush back in the bottle. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry. Once that's dry, I'm just going to put them back on the leather cords, and we're going to call it done. Okay, so here we go. Really sweet, really nice looking pair of pendants. Alright. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you to Temu for sending me the fantastic metal leaf. Please like, share, and subscribe like everybody's video you watch. I'll link my purchase order down below if you're interested in anything. Things may be sold out. You can check. Bye for now.